All right, so in order for us to start working with our code, we need to download a code editor. And that is just software that's going to run on our computer that's going to give us a way to interact with code and write code and edit code in an easy way. Similar to Adobe Photoshop, if you're working with images, you need to download an image editor or like video editing software. It's just the same exact thing, except it's with writing code. So this is what we're going to use. It's called Visual Studio Code. This is also known as IDE, so Code Editor or IDE, which stands for Integrated Development Environment. And you'll see why they call it that, because it's actually kind of a bunch of things all in one. But just search Visual Studio Code on Google and you'll be able to find the site, and it's a free download, and just make sure you get it installed, and then you should be able to find it in your applications here. And once you get it running, it's going to look something like this here. And this is why they call it a development environment, because it has a bunch of different tools here, all kinds of ways you can work with your code. You've got the file explorer here, search, source control, there's debugging tools, extensions and plugins. Um, so it's just this program that lets us do all kinds of things with our codes. Um, but the first thing you're going to need to do is have your project folder set, because that's kind of like setting up camp for where your project's going to be located. Everything needs to be in the same location. So you want to go ahead and create a folder. Just go to your desktop or your file explorer and just do create new folder. And once you do that, then you'll be able to come in here. So this top left icon, the explorer, and click in here, and then you can go through this button to choose a project folder. So we'll do that, and I already created a folder I call My Image Gallery. And now we can see we got this folder open here in our code editor. All right, so now for this project, we needed to go to this link here under Getting Started, and we're going to copy over index.html and the styles.css files into our project folder. So that's the one that you create. So just click this link here. It'll take you to my GitHub with our files here. And to copy these, all you have to do is select the file, and then you come over here to this double square button here. It says copy raw file. Click that, and it's going to copy all this code inside here. So come back to VSC. Up in our file explorer, we want to create a new file. And we'll name it the same thing, index.html. And just paste all that in. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing with styles.css. Copy all this here. Back to the code editor, and we'll create a new file again. Styles.css. And paste that in. So at this point, we've got both of our files copied in. We need to make sure we save these though. So you see these white dots up here, that means it's unsaved. So just hit Control and S for the shortcut to save. Then you'll see those circles will disappear once we get it saved. can close out of this Welcome tab. And this is your code, so everything you change in here is going to change your output. To see what that is going to look like, you can come to extensions here. And you want to search for live server. And it's this top one here, the purple icon. Get that installed. And I already did, so once you install this, it's going to give you this little button at the bottom over here. It says go live. Once you get that installed, you can click this button and it's going to run a development server on your own computer. That's going to give you a way to see what your code looks like or what your HTML looks like. So make sure you have this index.html file selected. So we're in this browser or we're in this tab, and we'll click go live. And it gives us what our image gallery looks like. Okay, and then we will see we have these spaces for images. They're not filled out right. So what your assignment is for this is going to be to fill this page with images. So anything you change in here is going to be reflected on the page. So if I wanted to change the title here, instead of photo gallery, I'll call it something like that. Save that. And then we see the change over here. So to switch out the images, all you have to do is come in down here to the source, and you'll see this is our image HTML tag. And we just want to swap this URL out with the URL to our image. So this is just a placeholder image right now. So to actually see something come up, you just want to do an image search like you can do open image in new tab. If you right click it, and then it'll give you a page like this, and then this URL is exactly what is pointing to that image. So let me see if this will work. You still want to keep the URL inside those quotations. Okay, that one's really long. Let's save it and see if it worked. Okay, and there we go. So you might have a little trouble with some of these URLs. Just try different ones. Some of them might give you some trouble, but as long as you get the direct image URL, should work on your gallery. So, and that's it for the project. All you have to do is swap out these source URLs, and there's your intro to Visual Studio Code and working with a code editor.